Assalamu alaikum, welcome to CEO Club Pakistan. मैं हूँ नौशीन तारिक. Viewers, as we all knows that e-commerce makes our life more easy, more better and more faster. हमारी आज की शख्सियत is one of them who bring these dynamic change in our lives. जी हाँ, मेरे साथ मौजूद हैं आदम दाऊद, yewo.com के हेड हैं. अस्सलाम वालेकुम आदम. कैसे हैं आप?
Very well.
Let's start Adam with your professional journey. How you take off and landed at yewo.com with the challenges.
So my first job was actually in e-commerce itself as well. So in about 2009, after I did my undergraduate, I decided I want to be in the technology space. There was no other sector I was going to enter into. And in 2012, when I was finishing my MBA, I heard that Rocket Internet wanted to come to Pakistan. So I reached out to the global CEOs and asked them whether they were looking for people in Pakistan and if I could help in any way. So I ended up basically getting the job of a product manager within the RAS. So I was one of the first sort of employees over there, and before there was anything, we didn't even have a name set for the RAS or anything like that as well. I started as a product manager, so basically looking after the website, coordinating with the developers in Germany, and figuring out, what we had to do to make the website in Pakistan very unique. I was there for about 9 months or so. Then I left and I started my own consultancy firm as well, where I started helping other e-commerce ventures and startups in Pakistan as well. From there, Rocket called me again, and I became the co-founder and managing director of Kemu.pk, which was a drop shipment marketplace within Pakistan. We were doing, when I joined in August 14, something like 600 orders a day, and we went to a peak of 3,000 orders a day within a year. I was there for about just under 2 years, and then I heard about Yewo. Yewo at that time was basically, TCS was looking to build up an e-commerce company out of TCS Connect, and they really wanted to be very customer focused. And yeah, so we started talking to the board and everything over here, and I was eventually hired to basically lead the company.
What is your company's philosophy, mission?
To put it very simply, is we actually want to make online shopping or shopping in general easy, simple, and convenient. As long as we're giving customers the ability to buy a product very cheaply and get it delivered on time as well, we know that they'll keep shopping with us again and again. So we basically want to use technology to ensure that process happens very, very smoothly and very quickly.
Don't you think when we talk about online shopping, so trust building factor is a main challenge? Because जनरली ये होता है कि हम ये कहते हैं कि यार ये चीज़ तो हम बाय कर लेते हैं, ऑर्डर कर लेते हैं, बट सर्टन थिंग्स लाइक क्लोथिंग, मेरी अम्मा कहती नहीं खुद जाके देखना, स्टफ़ वगैरह का मसला होता है, जो दिख रहा है वैसा होगा नहीं. So don't you think it's a challenge?
It is. It's actually, for me, the biggest challenge in the market right now, because building trust as well, it happens slowly. It cannot happen very quickly. Giving discounts and is very easy, but building trust only happens when you give a good experience to the customer, and then do it again, and do it again and again. So the way it works is, trust is very slowly built, but it can be destroyed very quickly as well. And this is why at Yewo as well, we've taken a very slow approach to doing e-commerce. Although we've been growing very quickly, we want to ensure whatever we do, we look after the customer at each and every point and make the right decision by him, because it's a very long-term game we're in anyway.
How many jobs your company created?
So if you look at our company right now, in terms of enterprise jobs, so people who work directly on the website, and we have about 100. If you count our CS staff and the operations staff who work in the warehouses and so forth, that's another 50 to 60 people. But then we have hundreds of vendors on our website as well, who are basically creating jobs as well by selling products and helping their own families as well. So directly about 150, 160, but then indirectly there's a lot more.
Okay. What are the key challenges and opportunities in your sectors, in e-commerce sector especially?
The opportunities are huge. So if you look at the e-commerce market globally, only about, on average, about 10% of all retail sales is through e-commerce. In Pakistan, that number is less than 1%. So even just to be an average country doing e-commerce, there's a 9% plus gap we still have to fill. So there's a very big opportunity there that will happen over time. In terms of the gaps, the biggest gap I feel right now is the number of customers who are shopping online. So we have 200 million people, about 110 million adults in the country right now. Of those, roughly 60 million are online, and we don't even know the total number of unique users as well. Of those, shopping online is probably 5 million or less. So we need to actually tell more people about it and get them shopping online. Then, as you mentioned earlier as well, how do we build that trust? How do we ensure that every customer who comes on board gets the product they want? And for that, we need to work very closely with vendors, because at the end of the day, as a marketplace, we're not selling a product directly. We're just connecting the buyers and the sellers. So the vendors, the sellers who are on our platform, we need to ensure that we get the right information from them and that they are basically sending the right product directly to the customer as well.
Okay, good. Adam, CEO Club और जैसे कॉफ़ी विद CEO का जो पर्पस है वो ये है कि हम जो है वो लीडरशिप प्रमोट करते हैं, अपनी बिजनेस लीडरशिप को हमने, और हमारी टैगलाइन भी है बिलीव इन पाकिस्तान. सो व्हाट इज़ लीडरशिप टू यू?
Leadership to me is, at the end of the day, just making sure that your team understands the vision of where you want to go. If you look at a industry like e-commerce as well, it's very tough because we don't know what the future will look like. In other industries which are a lot more mature, where the supply chains are set, where you can make easy 4 or 5 year plans as well, leadership is different compared to e-commerce, because in e-commerce we don't know what the next 5 years will look like. We don't even know what the next year will look like. So we have to actually be very responsive to market changes as well. So in that way, we have to always think about the customer and what the customer wants, and be very focused on the customer, and figure out that everyone in the team knows that is thinking about the customer and what their reactions will be, and then building products to suit them.
E-commerce और एक usual in other business, इसमें difference क्या है? मतलब if I'm talking about specifically leadership.
So again, very clearly, we don't know what the future will hold. The growth is very quick as well. So the e-commerce market right now is easily doubling every single year. Yevo as well has been doubling every single year as well. The challenges are enormous, because we have to figure out ways in which we can keep up with the growth without sort of expanding our expense base that much. We have to scale. With internet businesses, scaling is very important, and that requires a very different mindset. That requires that every single person in the company take ownership of the platform, of the product itself. So leadership is more about basically empowering employees, and then giving them the ability to make decisions and even fail, and then build up on that failure by looking at what actually went wrong, look at the data points that caused that failure, and then building up on it again and again.
As a leader, where do you see your organization next 4 or 5 years?
Again, very, very challenging question, because the market is unknown. And see, what we have to do in Pakistan as well, we have to look at the exact requirements of customers in Pakistan, because the customers in Pakistan's behavior will be very different to that of e-commerce shoppers in the US or in China or in India. So we just have to keep looking at our customers, keep talking to them, and figuring out what they want. Once we figure that out, we'll know where we're going.
CEO की जो success है, it's largely depend upon its team.
Yes.
So आप as a team player कैसे हैं, team leader कैसे हैं?
So I believe
कौन सी characteristics हैं जिनको लेकर आप चलते हैं कि एक टीम से काम निकलवाना, वो भी इतनी challenging field e-commerce?
So I believe that you need top-down leadership followed by bottom-up contribution. That basically means that the vision needs to be set for the company, but then the leader, along with everyone else in the company, needs to contribute to that vision as well. So the leader, especially in tech companies as well, needs to be very hands-on as well. He needs to create the products, he needs to create the services, and work very closely, directly with everyone involved to basically ensure that excellence is met at every single stage.
और वो कौन सी competencies हैं जो आप हायर करते हुए देखते हैं कि वो आपके एम्प्लॉयज़ में होनी चाहिए?
So there's three basic areas you need to look at. One is focus. So being able to stay focused on one item is very, very key, because there will be so many things flying at you. If you're not focused, you can get very easily distracted. Then drive and empowerment, because if you're not proactive, if you're not running towards a specific goal that's set, if you're happy to sit back and relax, then you're never going to get anywhere. And then finally, there needs to be that passion for what you do. You need to love what you do, because this isn't a job that you can do 9 to 5. You have to put in the time, you have to put in the effort, and enjoy what you do.
Focus,
drive,
passion.
Yeah.
Good. A CEO's success, retention of key people is one of the biggest challenge. So how you deal with it?
Empowerment. So if a person loves their job and they're being challenged every single day, if they're learning something new, if it's not a boring job, if there's no typical day, if every day is different, I think that's really helps people the majority of the time in wanting to stay in the company. Then after that, things like the financial elements and so on come in.
Okay. Other Harvard Business Review research tell us that EQ, emotional intelligence, important than IQ. Do you agree with it?
I agree with it in the later stages, absolutely. I believe initially what's more important is that people need to learn hard skills, and IQ definitely helps with that. So having technical skills these days is very, very crucial, especially in the tech industry. Everyone needs to be able to do a little bit of coding. They need to understand data science and things like that.
You mean e-commerce में जो है वो emotional intelligence का इतना काम नहीं है?
No, absolutely not. You need the hard skills first, then you need to focus on the people. And see how, and then look at it from the customer's point of view. This is where EQ becomes very important. So, but both of them are very crucial, but I think they come in different stages as well.
Do you believe in women empowerment?
I believe in empowering every single person and getting them to do the best of their job. But yes, women do need more opportunities, and we can do a lot more to help them in the workplace as well.
Okay, great. As a leader, now we are going to talk about your personal traits. So, any achievement you are proud of? ये वो .com से हटके.
It's actually I don't like to look at it necessarily in terms of any one particular achievement, because at the end of the day, every single day we have to do something that we feel proud of. Some days are good, some days are bad, but every single day, as long as you have a longer term goal set as well. So my own personal goals I've had set since I was since 5 to 6 years ago. And every single day I'm basically trying to achieve those as well.
And what's your secret of success?
No secret, just work hard.
Just work hard.
Everything. There's a lot of luck that's involved as well, but you can't do anything to control that. As long as you keep working hard and you keep looking at the opportunities that are available, things will fall into place.
Okay. What's the toughest decision you have ever made?
I would say probably moving back to Pakistan.
It's a common question.
So it was something that I realized when I was very young, that I was going to move back to this country, and I wanted to actually spend a lot of time here and actually help the country develop as well. And then at the same time, I knew that I wanted to be in the technology industry as well. So I thought, it was a very good way for me to combine both my passions in effect and help in whatever way I could.
आपने कहा कि यहाँ मूव करना जो है वो आपके नज़दीक टफेस्ट डिसीजन है. मैं ये जानना चाहूँगी कि ऐसा क्यों था, मतलब वर्क स्टाइल डिफरेंट है या लोगों के साथ डेवलप होना थोड़ा इशू है, मतलब रीजंस?
There were many factors to it, but at the end of the day, I decided that there's a contribution that I wanted to give, that I felt that I could add a lot to the country as well by sort of working here and sort of raising my family here as well. It was multiple.
और अब क्या फील होता है कि डिसीजन ठीक था, गलत था, कोई रिग्रेट?
नहीं, no regret as such right now, but it's been an incredible journey.
Okay. आदम दाऊद का इंस्पिरेशन या रोल मॉडल कौन था?
I would actually say my father. the way I see him, I've seen him work throughout his life. Always sort of focusing on his family, his company, and all the customers he has as well. So he's been the biggest inspiration in my life, actually.
Okay. How do you manage your work life and with your family and
Honestly, for me, work-life balance is something that people talk about a lot. But at the end of the day, if you love what you do, it's automatically you'll be able to balance everything as well. So for me, both of them go hand in hand very easily.
okay. As a leader or as a head of yevo.com, you have already a lot of things in your plate now. So how you manage your anger or stress?
Deep breaths, a lot of deep breaths. You have to realize you can't actually control everything that happens in any given day. As long as then you start focusing on all the things that are important that you can control, and try and plan and think about the things that aren't in your control, but manage it in the best way possible. That's the best you can do.
Okay. And what's your idea of happiness?
Retiring on a farm in Italy, reading a book.
Okay. Your favorite books?
There's multiple books that I like. I go from fiction to non-fiction as well. I try and read a lot of biographies as well. Right now I'm actually reading Usain Bolt's biography, and how he basically started running and went on to sort of break all the world records in sprinting and so forth.
Okay. Okay, Adam, any message of optimism to the younger CEOs and upcoming CEOs?
Always look at the bigger picture. Think about what best you can do for your customers as well. As long as you have your customers in your line of view, and you're always planning for them, and you're thinking at least 2-3 years out as well. I know it's tough, it takes some time as well, but anyone can manage it as long as they then build a good team around themselves as well.
Thank you. Thank you very much.